The anger, the anguish, the frustration, the doubt, the despair, the joy. It was all there. They wrote it all in there. And you just read it, and you read it, and you read it. What's interesting is that Jesus never once asked his disciples, if you want to be one of my disciples, say this. Say this. Say you believe that this is what I am. Say that you believe this about me. Say that, no, this is not what it, well, this is what Jesus did. Look it up yourself, and if I'm wrong, come back tomorrow and prove it to me from the scriptures. Jesus said, come and be with me. In fact, God was more interested in asking, it seems, all through the Bible, questions of us just to engage in dialogue. We're so about absolutes, certainty, instead of relationship. And Jesus was, come and be with me. Let's spend time together. Do you want to follow me? Yes, you're in. Think about this. Peter had the absolute wrong idea of the kind of Messiah that Jesus came to be. He thought he was going to be a militant Messiah, a military worker that would destroy Rome. He thought he was going to make it an immediate impact for the Jewish people and destroy their oppressors. Jesus became a disappointment to many of the disciples because he came to do something eternal, not something temporal. And he came to show us who the Son of Man is. The only place in all of the New Testament Gospels that you see Jesus allowing himself to be referred to as a king was when he was on the cross. Jesus came to show us how to be human, how to live, how to be moved by the power of the Spirit, how to know the Father, how to have relationship and call on his name, how to not know where you're going. You understand that Jesus did not know where he was going, ever. Didn't know where he was going, other than what the Father said. Every day, that was a frustration to the disciples. Do you understand that we hold Jesus back? We are holding Jesus back. Wouldn't it be great if Jesus could be blamed for something that he actually said? Today we live in a culture where God is being blamed for things that he never said. He's being held into question for stuff that, it's like we're living in a culture where God would be, people will say, oh, God, I guess, burned certain Bibles. Because we do these things in the name of God. And but there's no other like you. And there's no other like you. And holiness is it's the process of our lives when we allow the Spirit of God to pull away all of the lies and deception about who he is, and it doesn't replace it with who he is. It just says, let me push away all of these absolutes and all these ideas, and why don't you just come be with me? And why don't we just start enjoying it when you say it wrong? And you're going to do a lot of miracles. Many miracles are going to follow your life. But what's going to be amazing about you is you're not only going to do miracles, you're going to choose not to do miracles. That's amazing about Jesus. What's amazing to me about Jesus is not only how many miracles Jesus did, can't deny it, but how many he didn't do. Like when he was a carpenter and he came upon a hammer, he had a hammer in his hand and an awkward nail. Why didn't he make a Billy Mays tool or something? You know what I mean? Why didn't he make himself a magic hammer that would just take care of every awkward nail? How could he raise a dead man and not make a magic tool? Holy Spirit, you're holy and you're making us holy. And you're pulling away our absolutes and you're pulling away our ideas about who you are. And we're being led to what for some of us is an inconvenient truth, who you actually are. Because we want to hold on to our forms and our ideas because that is our identity, our ideas. And Jesus, you want to call us to a mysterious life. To a life of following you and surrender. There's a power in poverty that breaks principalities. There's a power in being homeless that breaks principalities. There's a power in absolute surrender every day to not knowing where you're going and having to trust the hand of the Lord. Why? Because the systems of this world are not afraid of miracle workers. They're afraid of people that cannot be bought. Is that fair? See, and what happens constantly in the church is we run from absolute to absolute. And so we have these revivals of the Spirit of God and the Holy Spirit. As if, that isn't supposed to be the norm. And we're living in a day, guys, where intellectualism is not the enemy of the gospel any more than non-intellectualism is. Is that fair? We've lived for years where it was like, oh, intellectualism just gets you, well, that's not the way it is anymore. Both can lead you down the same path of just your own pathetic ideas. You can just have a stupid idea about who God is, or you can have a real intelligent idea about who God is. But they could both be wrong. And I really believe there is a new time that we're living in, and I'm really excited. There's like a third millennium theologian that's on the scene right now, and I'm seeing him all over the world, and I'm reading them. People from the Catholic Church, the Anglican Church, charismatics, all of them. And they're all after the same thing. What does it really look like to follow Jesus? Can we hold this person? Because that's what's different about following Jesus from every religion in the world. We believe in a living God. And this is a really awesome time to be around, isn't it? So, how does that work out in our lives? I felt like, I don't know where I'm going. I've been blinded by the truth. I thought that was so cool, when God gave me that, and I started growing.